This is literally a reunion happening live on air. We've got Lou Holder, of course, a good friend, former colleague. You've been in the business for decades, covering the Commanders for a really long time. Lou, you were out here yesterday with Wisdom. What did you observe? What were some strengths, some flaws that you observed?
So strength is how this team is just airtight as far as camaraderie, right? What they started last year with the talent and the culture and the people. That's how the
magic happens.
Correct. You got to have everybody on the same. There's veterans that have come in here. This is one of the older teams in the NFL, so there's a lot of wisdom there. And to see that wisdom being passed down to some of the younger guys, that's the first thing that I saw. Besides Dan Quinn and what he says as far as, when other coaches would get up here, no disrespect, but when other coaches get up here, you're just like, okay, what's the plan? You know what the plan is with Dan Quinn, and he tells you and the media what's going to happen, and it's just a very refreshing
You say something really striking, the veterans teaching and being wise toward the younger players. You know what's interesting about that is the younger players seem to be receiving it well as well. It is a beautiful formula of teamwork and play, and that's important, especially on the field, but in the locker room, it's the whole camaraderie and everyone having good vibes.
Yeah, let's take one example, for instance. Bobby Wagner, first ballot Hall of Famer, chose to come here to end his career. Jordan McGee, who's a player that I am really, really high on, that got hurt last year, a linebacker from Temple University. The talk with him, both of them yesterday, was how each one of them loves the position that they're in. Bobby loves the fact that he's able to teach Jordan, and Jordan's like, oh, I'm getting to learn from a first ballot Hall of Famer. And little pockets of these are happening all over the field. Zach Ertz, who's a veteran. There's so many veterans that are showing by example. This is not only how you be a football player, this is how you be a professional.
Yes.
And that lacked here for a while, professionalism and stuff like that. People are handling their business, and that's very refreshing.
Okay, look, we got to talk about Sam Cosmi. He had an ACL injury. That's a really serious injury to recover from. He was out here yesterday. What do we think looking ahead to even week one? Is that too soon?
So Dan Quinn said they're targeting week one. So I would say in the first couple weeks, that's huge. That he's there. They have a contingency plan if he's not there. They got a lot of moving parts in that offensive line that can sustain. But when Cosmi comes back, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And I don't think it's like mid-season away. He's the first part of the season away, and they're just going to be cautious because they have bodies to let him be cautious.
Right.
He does not need to be out there week one, but if he passes all the tests, they're going to have him out there for week one.
And that's ultimately the goal, I would think, for a coach, of course, is to keep everybody healthy during the training camp, right? Especially as we're only 2 weeks away from the first preseason game.
Yeah, you want to be healthy.
Exactly. Okay, real quickly, Von Miller has been making some splashy headlines, 36 years old. We know what he's accomplished, signed a one-year deal. Shoring up that offense.
The defense.
The defense, I'm sorry. So what does that look like for us?
Another example, Bobby Wagner saying that he's learning from Von Miller.
Love it.
The knowledge in there, you don't have to be the quickest person on the field, but if you're the wisest person on the field, that's what I've learned, that, people talk about how athletes, especially in football, they lose a step, but if their mental capacity is they know when that snap is coming, it makes up for a lot of things, and that's what Bobby Wagner said. Von Miller, they're not going to overtax him. He's going to be a situational destroyer. They were looking for an edge rusher. They found one, but he's not the person that he's going to be playing a major amount of snaps. They're going to be revolving all of these players in there to keep them fresh because it's a long season. But the impact that man could have, just seeing him yesterday, anybody who knows football.
You don't want to mess with him. You mentioned the Commanders being one of the oldest teams in the NFL. And it feels like this time around, being from here, we always talked about the rebuild and the hope and all of that. But this time, it feels so different because we're coming off that stellar season. The first time in 33 years, we made it to the NFC Championship
I heard
game.
you said we're going to the Super Bowl. That's what I heard you say.
We are going to go to the Super Bowl. We're manifesting it, but not only me and the fans, but also the front office, because they have really built a team to win. And I believe that they believe they can win it all.
Oh yeah, I mean the league wants to see this team. It's on TV, prime time, so many times, but it's hard to get to the Super Bowl.
Well, we almost touched it last season.
And so did the Detroit Lions 2 years ago, and then what happened, right? So
Lou,
it takes a lot.
I won't let you do this.
I'm a realist. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Optimism.
But I'm cautiously optimistic.
All right. Well, it's only day 2. Maybe I should slow down.
Yes. Yes, day 2.
All right. Wisdom Allison, of course, Lou Holder, good friend of ours, joining me. He's going to stick with us for 8:30 because there's just way too much on the plate. I mean, we got to talk about so much more.
Hold on.
Wisdom.
Annie, hold on. Now, I want you to relay this message to Mr. Holder right there. Mr. Holder said he was exclusive.
Mr. Holder.
He said he was exclusively to me, and then I look up, and now he's with you.
And I just texted him for Monday. So, Lou, see you Monday. Please let him know.
Okay. So Wisdom apparently thought that you were going to only be exclusive for him yesterday, and here you are. And Allison, you might want to check your phone. She's already hitting you
I
up
texted
for
just
next
now.
week
That's right.
Because Al's going to be out here on Monday.
Listen, these 3 people are like family to me, so whatever you all need is fine with me.
Good.
It's good to be covering football and not foolishness.
Yes.
And it's good to be covering football with family members that you know and love.
And you know what? This is the man to talk to because Lou Holder's been covering this franchise for
years.
decades.
Wow. Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about. It's
Yes.
institutional knowledge, and so we appreciate you
Thank
so
you.
much.
All right.
Now I have to really send it back.
Okay.
Moving around. He'll
right.
check his phone for your text. Al.
Good. Thank you. I would have called his wife if he didn't respond. So, Annie, thank you so much. All right. We'll see you coming up.